What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. I know I'm not used to standing here with some 3/4 inch PVC, but today we're doing something special. We're gonna make a bow. We're gonna make an actual bow that hopefully we can shoot. And I'm gonna show you. Got my tape measure out here. What we're doing. And I've had people ask me before about my height and my size and this and that. So let's see. Try to get this thing pinned on the bottom. So right there is 6 feet. All right, might have to back this thing up, it looks like. Boop. So right here is 6 foot 3 inches tall where my finger is, right? So this is 6'3". I'm not gonna move my finger, you guys can see it. So if I stand right here, you can see I'm actually above 6'3" by almost an inch, right by the top of my dome there. But I'm wearing sneakers. Oh, well, you guys almost saw them. And that gives me almost an inch of height. So, oh, crap! I dropped you guys. So, but I caught you with my finger. So, people were asking. Well, actually, two people. We're like, man, how tall are you? You look kind of tall. So here I notched out 6 feet. Here is 6'3", and now I'm standing at an angle. Obviously, let me put this thing straight. Boop. So there's 6'3", and you can see that my head is just this much above 6'3", but I'm wearing some Nikes. So that'll do it. Hope that answers the question. What I want to do, because I have this thing, which is a lot longer than 6 feet, I want to cut this down at my 6 foot mark. And then I want to take some of these guys. I'm pretty sure you've all seen these stuck in the ground with like a reflector on the top, or just stuck in the ground to like mark off territory, things like that, little caution sticks. But these little fiberglass sticks move like that. They stretch. So what I need to do is get 6 feet by staggering these guys like that. I need to get just under 6 feet, as a matter of fact, by putting one centered and then at an even distance, one passing it this way and one passing it that way. So that's what I need to work on. I need to just measure up that distance, and then I'm going to duct tape them together. But first, I got to cut this guy to make my PVC bow length. All right, let me recap myself. I didn't want to cheat with a hat on. Show you guys. All right, hold on. Let's go cut this thing. All right, time to make the cut. My 6 foot notch is right here. Man, little tiny piece of plastic was kicking up in my face. Ugh. All right, so brush it all off, man. Ugh, it's everywhere. Holy mackerel, I'm covered in little dots. All right, so there's my 6 foot pipe. That sounds good. Not good. Man, that came out wrong. Just buried myself on that one. All right, let's go work on some more stuff. Okay, so the way I'm doing this is I'm going to center my first orange pole, and then I'm going to send the second one just about to the end of the PVC, but not all the way. And then my third one, the same thing in the opposite direction. So I'll show you what I'm looking at. There we go. I think this one needs to come this way a little bit. All right, so the ends, let's see, look like that. And the other end looks like that. So now that I have all that, I'm going to get some tape prepared. so I can put them all together, and I need them to stay exactly at that length apart from each other. Let's move that. So what I want to do is I want to start the tape without moving the sticks, and voila. So I just need to put a little tape holding it at the end, and then I need to do it where the last one binds together. I'm going to do a couple more spots, but this is just to get it going, get it in the right place. And I want to line them all up so they're equal all the way around, and I will move the tape around like that, and do the same thing to this side. Pinch it all together. And just like that. So now, where the last two meet, I want to tape those together. Just like that. And on the other side, the same thing. Don't worry about these little tabs. Don't care about that. Now I got these at Ocean State Job Lot for $2 a pop. So if this all works out well, I made a bow for, let's see, cost me $6 for the orange, and cost me less than that for the one piece of PVC, and I actually had it laying around so I didn't have to buy it. All right, so now those are together. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go in between the two spots, and I'm going to reinforce that area so they really stick together, and that's going to give it a stronger snapback. And the stronger the better, because you want more poundage. And this isn't going to be crazy poundage. This is probably going to be like a kid's bow poundage right there. But you can see that it definitely snaps as is. So now I'm going to stick all of them right through there. And what I need to do is get out the heat gun and put a small bend in this guy. Although once I cinch the ends, and I'm going to use the heat gun, heat this up and press it so those don't come out. And then I'm going to notch this, and we're going to, you'll see it all. And I'm going to find center, and I'm going to put a screw in the center so I have a spot to put my rest on. So as it stands, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So now it's just pinching and filling it up. So what I'm going to do though is I want to make a tighter fit with these in here, so I'm going to put a little bit more duct tape just around the center. That's it. See if I can't get it to where it's going to fit nice and tight around there. Now I can't go too much, because if I can't fit it in, then well, we've all been there. Well, maybe some of you haven't. But I broke one or two. Alright, so let's see. Let's see if that's going to be just right, too much, or not enough. Oh, so close. So close. I need just a little bit more. So I'm going to finish taping this guy up. I'm going to slip it in there to where it's nice and snug. And then we can start working on the bow. Hold on. Alright, so I found the perfect measurement to where it's not going to fall out. And I have to say, that's pretty snappy right there. That's pretty snappy. That might be a little bit stronger than I expected it to be, and that's only a good thing. So now I have to work on getting my ends pinched a little bit, my notches in, and my rest on there, and then I just need to figure out how I'm going to string this thing. All right, so we are down in the shop, and I'm going to heat. Ooh, I'm going to get blurry. I'm going to heat the end of this to where I can start to pinch it, and then when it cools, it will stay permanently pinched. I got to heat this up real nice because this is pretty thick, Gotta get it soft. Ooh, it's hot. So this might take a minute. So let me press pause and I'll get back on that. All right, so it's all heated. It got really nice and smushy. So I stuck it right here in the vise. And now I'm just gonna let it sit there a minute until it cools. And when it cools, it will harden in that position. And just like that, the first side is done. That means it will never, my insides will never slip out of here. So I just have to do the same thing on that side. Now I did it at an angle. So I need to make sure I do the same thing from the same position at the same angle. So it has to be even. Otherwise, it's going to be a little screwy. Will it do any, I mean, will it really make a difference totally? No, it'll still work. But I want to do it right. So let me heat it up. All right, so and just like that, I have one pinch side, I have two pinch sides, and they both are in the same direction. So now what I need to do is notch where my bowstring is going to go. So I have options. I could do it on the end here or right below, and I'm going to do it right below. Now a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll break out a file when, especially using on wood or whatever, it'll just start grind. It takes a long time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the stone grinder, and I'm just going to grind myself a couple lines. I don't need to go all the way around really, because just two of them, as long as you get nice deep grooves, are going to hold on your bowstring. So that's what I'm going to do. And remember, when you're doing a bowstring, you want to go this way with your notches. If you go this way, you can have your string slip off. So that's the direction I'm going. Hold on a second. All right, let's go. All right, so you see, hopefully it's not too blurry, I have them down there. What I'll do is I'll use a file just to touch them up at the end. But right there is good. Hold on, I gotta do the other side. All right, so I made myself a couple nice little valleys there. I actually did go all the way around because, well, I got in a groove. So you can see it all the way around there. And that's good. I accidentally nicked up the center while I was cutting, so, and it's going to be right there at the bend, but hopefully it won't, I didn't go too far. The tool, they just dragged it across and scraped it. It should be good though. So far that is good. We have ourselves a bow. What I'm thinking about doing, I don't know if I'm going to make a rest, which I might just use a little something for it. But I want to paint it, and first I'm going to go and measure my bowstring. So let's go. All right, so let's tie us a bowstring. What I'm going to start with my American flag TA50 cord, 550 cord. I'm going to just bend around, make a loop, and I'm going to do like just a once over a couple times. I want to make this wrap around and get it long enough. So it's kind of like when you tie your shoe, that first one, but I want it to go around 3 times, and then I'm going to pull it through the hole. Uh-oh, my hands are big, guys. All right, so let's go around like that, like I'm tying a shoe, right? I'm going to leave space there so I can go around again and around again. So now I'm gone through 3 times, and what I want to do is I want to send this one through the loops that I just made. I'm not going to pull them tight yet. I just want to send this all the way through. There we go. That's 1. There's 2. So now I end up with something that looks like this. It's a little noose, right? So I'm going to get my bow. Hold on. All right, so I have my bow. So what I'm going to do is just loop this over the top, get it inside those notches, and I'm just going to pull this nice and tight and make sure it's all inside my little notch there. And that thing is going nowhere, so you can see how nice that is. So now, I just hit the ceiling. So now I have to measure how far I want my bowstring. And I don't want it to be completely straight like this, but I don't want to be too far bent. So what I'm going to do is figure out where my bend is going to be. And then, well, let me see if I can actually do it to where I can show you guys. So I'm going to put a bend inside my bow that I want to create. And I'm going to have to show you on once it's done. So I'll just explain it. So I'm going to put the bend in the bow. I'm going to put my string at the end. Once I get my bend down, I'll have to do it with my leg like when you string a bow. And I'm going to measure off how far that loop needs to be. And then I'm going to tie it and loop it. So let me get to measuring. All right, so I have it strung. This is my bow. Obviously it's not painted or anything yet. I want to take a test flight. I don't have the center marked or anything like that. I just want to see if this thing will fly. All right, take a walk with me. We're going to count out the paces to get to this arrow, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's pouring. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31 paces. So there's my arrow. Way up there is where I shot it from on the porch. That is that's pretty good. So now it's about finishing this guy up. I like. All right, so I just did a cheap one coat, and you can tell from the spots like that where it's still white coming through, but it doesn't matter. It's just to not make it look like PVC. I do like the American flag bowstring, and I even left it on there while I painted, so the ends are done. But so far, I have to say, it's coming along. Gotta let that dry, and then I'll tape off where my grip is going to be, and I'll do a 4.5 foot grip with the top of the grip being dead center of the shaft. So so far I have a bow. All right, so you can't have a homemade bow and not have homemade arrows. So I have 2 different things here. I have this little dowel and I have a stick. So what I'm going to do, the stick might not work because the taper is really small, but it's the best one I had around. So I'm going to cut off the ends of the stick and then try and knock one end and then put a slice in another end. Now you can't have arrows without arrowheads, right? But they have to be homemade pretty much. So I have these aluminum tags, right? Boop, they hang from your neck. And what I'm going to do is cut in and then cut in here, make like almost like a little diamond shape. And what that'll do is it'll give me an area to tie my arrowhead to my arrow shaft, and it'll give me enough room for a point. So I have a few of those. Depending on if this works, I'll make some more, but let's test this out. All right, so I had a boo-boo. My big stick broke, but I knocked the end, and I put a little slice in the tip, and it's like crossbow size, and I wonder if I could just get a short shot just to see if I could do it. You know what I mean? That was kind of just a tester. On this one, I put a little slice in there to stick the arrowhead in, and I knocked the rear. So now it comes down to making these arrowheads, and let's see if this will fit through there. I think with a little bit of pressure it'll fit without breaking the actual shaft of the arrow. So this is going to be kind of cool. Let's test this one. This is softer, so it's either going to split or it's going to fit. We'll soon find out. All right. So far I picked the wrong kind of stick. Oh, hey, look at that. So if I can get that one down, then that'll work. All right, so that's what I'm going to work on. All right, so I made my first arrowhead. Let's see, that's the knocked end. I got you guys rolling? Yeah, I got you guys rolling. So now I'm going to try and squeeze this guy right into there. Try not to cut my fingers since I sharpened it before I put it on there. Let's see. I didn't go crazy sharpening, but I did give it an edge. The tip is a little bent. I'm going to straighten that with the vise. But that's what happens when you use thin metal on a grinding wheel. It's going to bend a little bit. Let's see. I think I got it pretty much all the way in there. So that's what it's going to look like, and I'm going to tie it down. So I'm going to have to notch this piece of the wood right here. First, I'm going to just send my arrowhead into the vise real quick. And straighten it out. And I think I did a good job. So now I'm going to tighten it one more time and just press the arrowhead in while it's in the vise. Make sure it's seated all the way, and it is. So now I have an arrowhead that should be fully functional. So I'm going to notch this little piece of wood right here. Let me untie my cord. Screw it, I'll just leave it. So all I'm doing is taking a Dremel and I'm making a circle around the shaft for the string to fit in. That way it seats nice and tight. And that's it, just a little line. So I still have to do feathers, so I'm going to do my own feathers. I have to tie that on, then I have to shoot it. But first, I have to make the arrowhead for this one right here. And while I have the Dremel already on, I'm going to go ahead and try and notch this thing without breaking it. Let's see. This is so thin, so I have to be really careful, because otherwise, as soon as that tip hits something, it's going to break off, which it probably will anyways on this, because it's just super thin. But now I have a notched out area. I have a notched out area with an arrowhead. Let me go make that second arrowhead. All right, hold on a second. Okay, so now I have two arrowheads. One's kind of a short arrow, but now it's time to go do some feathers. Okay, so I've never done this, so I really don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to take a guess that I want the long side of the feathers. So I have to cut away the short side. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Spyderco Tenacious. And I'm going to see if I can't slice the feathers away from the spine. This is more difficult than I guessed it would have been. Let's see. These feathers are on there really good. There we go. There we go. So now they're starting to come off. Give myself a nice area to work with. So now I have basically half a feather, right? So, let me get my stick. Okay, so what I basically need to do is get it so the feather's going this way, and I need, let's see, here's my knock right there. I need to get it somewhere in this area right here. What I have to do is tie down this end and then tie down an end in there. And I think I should probably get all 3 feathers situated first, or do I just tie 1 and 1 and 1 and 1? I don't know, but I'm going to get 3 feathers situated first. All right, so I have 3 feathers done, and I have some sparkly red string, the same kind I used for my Rambo knife handle. And what I need to do is wrap around these 3, but I have to somehow set them up to where they're not going to fall down. And I think what I'll do is I'll wrap one time around. I think. And then 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 is going to be trial and error. Let me check about. All right, so it looks like it's El Finite. The arrow, ugliest arrow in the world, right? I have a regular arrow. Oh, let me go get it. So my regular arrow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare how each of them fly. This one I don't have a lot of high hopes for because it is what it is. So here's the bow, right? Complete. Got a little handle on there. Right there's my center. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this knocked arrow, this little tiny guy, and I'm going to try and get it over the car. Hopefully it works. All right, so it flew. It flew. That one didn't have any feathers because this is a pain in the butt. I don't know how those guys do it, doing their own feathers on arrows. It takes either some better feathers than I had, or at least some knowledge. And I'm pretty sure I could have YouTubed it, but when am I ever on YouTube? So let's take my homemade arrow. Let's see what we can get here. I think I need to make the knock bigger because that one went nowhere. It literally skid off the arrow itself. I mean the bow. So let me see if I can't really press that knock into there. All I did is just damage the feather on that one. All right, so now I'm knocked in, so this should fly. That was pretty good. All right, that was pretty good. So now a standard arrow. Let's see where that other one went, way over there. I think my homemade arrow, not the little one, that one was crap. If it had feathers, it would probably have been better. But the little one, I shot at the tree. It fell at the base of the tree. It's in there somewhere. So now, here we go. Here, uh-oh, I just hit a button. I don't know what I did. I hope I didn't pause. No, I didn't pause. So here, let's see, where am I going? Is the regular arrow. And here is my homemade arrow. So of course I left the tripod inside. Let's try and set you guys up and see if I can't shoot them into the air. Oh, you're sliding. And see how far we can get it to go. You guys look okay there? Okay. So this is the regular arrow. I really should put a rest on there. I think it might be better. But I'm going to shoot this one up into the air, and I'm going to see what kind of height I can get. That wasn't very long in the air. Let's try the new guy. The arrow's still on there. It still looks good. And let me line up these feathers. They all twisted, but it is what it is. All right, so let me knock this guy right here. I think going in and out a few times of this bowstring might help that. All right, put it up in there. Holy moly. All right, so I don't even think I was in any kind of you know, I couldn't see, guys. I might not even been in frame, but the homemade arrow went much better. So I'm going to bring out a target and we'll try to hit that. Hold on. Okay, so I went and got my little tiny arrow. I'm going to try to shoot that first. Hit this target. I'm going to do the tiny arrow really close at about 4 yards just to see if it even makes it. Oh, I see the... Oh, you know what I never did is I never tied down... I forgot to set the arrowheads on my homemade arrows. Uh-oh. Hold on. That's Reveille. Hold on a second. All right, we're back. Always remember the fallen. Always remember the fallen. All right, so I got my arrow set. I'm at 4 yards. Oh, completely missed. All right, so now I'm gonna get my other 2 arrows. I'm gonna back up a little bit. I wish I remembered to tie the front of the arrow down. I might have made it a little better. But I'm gonna start with my homemade arrow, and I am at 10 yards. I'm gonna get that nock secure. Oh, I just missed at 10. All right, so let's go with the already arrow. Oh, it went just over. All right, so I have to figure out where this thing's gonna aim. Let me see, get that guy out of there. Yeah, get all the crud off there. You know, for not tying it down, my arrowhead stayed on. All right, let me go back 10 yards again. Gonna go with my homemade arrow again. Trying to knock it, sliding all over the place. I need to mark my bowstring for center. I forgot to do that. All right, let's try again. Oh, just to the side. That one's just kind of skating. I wonder if it's because the arrowhead is really light and thin and weak. Let's try the regular arrow. Oh, no, maybe it's just, I think it's just shooting to the left. At 10 yards, it's going left. So I'm going to aim a little to the right. Eventually, we're going to get one in. Eventually. You guys stay with me. I know half of you just fell asleep. All right, here we go. Here we go. Aim to the right. That was close. That was close. A little better aim, I'd have been there. Aim to the right. Come on, man. I'm hitting the same spot. The same spot. All right, so they're both going to the same place. So my arrow is doing the right job. It's the shooter that's failing. So, shooter on his mark. I cannot shoot it straight. Well, it's going straight, just going straight to the left. Guys, we're going to be out here forever. We're going to be out here forever. Actually, no, we're not, because I'm getting it right now. I'm getting it right now. Let me back up. I should probably back up more. That's probably why it's not taking a chance to bend back in. I think that's what's happening. I should back up a little bit, maybe 12 yards. All right, let's try it. 12 yards. 12 yards, same place. Let's try it with the real arrow. Gosh, I'll tell you what, that's going through with some zip. I went through with a little bit of power. Oh, shit. Thought I broke the tip off there. All right, let's try this again. My homemade arrow, the tip is starting to bend over a little bit because, well, I didn't tie it down. All right, let's try it again. So this is going to be one of those one more time type things. One more time. I have to get at least one hit, right? So can you make a homemade bow? Yeah. Does that mean you can aim? No. Oh my gosh. On target, just above. All right, so that I put myself in the right spot. Yeah. All right, so the regular arrow went in. This one went just above it. I'm gonna take one more shot. One more. I don't care where it goes, what it does. This is the last one. Yeah. All right. I'll tell you what. There you go. Once you learn it, the spacing on both arrows is exact. And I was kind of putting, when I was shooting these two, they were going like the same places every time. So there was no real difference between an actual arrow and then the one I made. And right now I think because I didn't tie this arrowhead down, oh, it actually came out. I got it out. It's a little crooked, but I got it out. All right, let's take out the regular arrow. And I have to say that both performed admirably. So what I want to do is do a final shot and just a test of distance to see overall distance, how far we can get it. So what I'll do is I'll just bring you with me. We'll see exactly how far we can shoot it. Hold on. All right, so I have about 50 yards of yard to play with, and I don't think either of them are going to go that far. So let's just take 2 shots, one with each arrow, and see how far they go. First is my homemade arrow. That one curved big time to the left before it started bowing in, but it made a pretty good distance. All right, last one, right here. Wow. Wow. All right, so that was actually a huge shot. See that trampoline over there? It went past that. The other one went before that, so let's go get the other one first. And while I talk to you guys about my bow, super simple, super easy. Now, if I wanted to get more pull on this, I could have just shortened my draw. You know what I mean, and made it bow out more. So here is my homemade arrow, and we still have to go over there. And I can see it. It's pretty far. That was actually a pretty good shot for this thing. And here it is, right here. So I'm going to put my toe right there. You can see my toe. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if you can see my toe. Well, let's get a shot of the arrow actually. Okay, there's the arrow. I shot it all the way back from that fence. Way back there. That right here is the end. So that was about 40 yards. The other one went about 30 yards, maybe, yeah, 30 yards. There's only 10-yard difference. So 30-yard arrow, 40-yard arrow, homemade bow out of PVC, and 550 cord. It doesn't get any better than that. So, well, actually it does get a lot better than that, but just not today. So that was pretty good. Easy project. It was fun. I'm going to sit out here and I'm going to shoot some more targets. I'm going to get this thing down. Talk to you all later. I'm Donnie B all day. Till next video. All right, guys. So I actually plan on those two being my final. This spot right here where I just took off from, 40 yards away from the fence, I decided, oh, I'm just going to go play around. I didn't think this was going to happen. I changed the angle. I shot my homemade one back almost to where I shot it from. The other one went over the fence. Gone. So now I have to go and pull it out of the parking lot over there. I can't believe that. So that is a success. I mean, that thing went over the fence. I have to go chase it down. And my other arrow actually got a good stick. I put it up in the air and it came down, and here it is right there. Check that out. So that was pretty impressive. The other one even more impressive. I had to go find it. Okay, I see it. It's over here. It made its way into the parking lot, over the fence. It traveled a pretty good distance. That was about 55 yards, and came straight down. Woo! And I got it. That is crazy. All right, y'all. I'm Donnie B all day. Till next.